If you or a loved one or somebody you know just doesn't like Gladiator, you gotta really ask yourself and look at them dead in the eye and ask them this as well.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Well, today marks the 20th anniversary of Gladiator, and I recently did a review of 1990s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as an anniversary review because that movie turned 30 years old. Gladiator turns 20 today, and Gladiator had a huge impact on the movie industry and these types of films that are coming out of Hollywood. It stars Russell Crowe as a Roman general named Maximus. He is planning on returning home to his family, and the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius grants him his return and tells Maximus that even though he is not his son, he is the heir to the empire of Rome. This pisses off Marcus Aurelius' son Commodus, who learns of this, so he murders Marcus Aurelius, he murders Maximus' wife and son, and Maximus is sold into slavery and becomes a gladiator. So just right off the bat, if you have not seen Gladiator, I am going to be spoiling Gladiator. There might be some spoilers, maybe some minor spoilers. Not sure how spoiler-filled this video is going to get, but if you have not seen Gladiator,
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Gladiator is one of those movies that still holds up 20 years later. This movie set the standard for the modern revenge tale, while also making you sympathize with a character who is going after this crazy weasel-like emperor named Commodus, who's played magnificently by Joaquin Phoenix. It makes you sympathize with him, and while he is seeking revenge, it makes you understand that Maximus is a man of honor. There's a scene later on in the movie when they get to the Roman Coliseum, and Commodus wants Maximus to kill a gladiator who is undefeated, and Maximus is standing over his body, and he's about to slice him down. He throws his weapon down and doesn't kill him. Commodus then goes on to taunt Maximus about his family and how, like, his wife and child begged for mercy when they were killed, and you know what Maximus does? He walks away because he's a true man. He knows what he has to do. So with that in mind, yes, while this is a revenge tale, there's quite a few instances in this movie with things that just showcase how much of a man of honor and pride Maximus is, and he probably knows that going down this path of revenge probably isn't the right thing to do. And I think that this showcases him trying to keep a piece of himself together, a piece of his honor, a piece of his pride, and a piece of the courage that's always been in him. And Russell Crowe is magnificent as Maximus. He is great. There's rumors that on the set, Russell Crowe didn't really like any of the lines of dialogue, so he would always just say to the scriptwriter who was on set, he'd be like, yeah, your lines of dialogue are shit, but I am the greatest actor ever, and I will make your shit sound great. Apparently, that's what was said, that's what he was quoted as saying, but he is really good as Maximus. He deserved that Academy Award for Best Actor. He had some great competition there, too. He was up in good company. I mean, Tom Hanks was part of that class as well. I mean, but Russell Crowe, man, he kills it in this movie. You feel for Maximus. If it was anybody else other than Russell Crowe, I don't think I would have cared as much. I think Russell Crowe really sold how Maximus was feeling and how Maximus is portrayed in this movie. Let's talk about Commodus for a minute, because that guy is a little goddamn weasel. Oh my god, what a shit emperor. Look, if I was living in Rome at the time of this movie, and this dude was the emperor, I would have fled Rome. I'm not gonna deal with that. Like, I'd be like, I'd get my wife and kids and be like, that's it, we're leaving. Let's get out of here, because this dude is the biggest weasel on the planet. His whole motivation makes sense. His reign of terror makes sense. Everything in this movie. It just connects the dots so well, and he is just so menacing. You just look at Joaquin Phoenix in this movie, and it's like there's something hidden under that kind of innocent looking face. And it's just the way he approaches people, the way he comes across to people. You're just like, shit, I don't want to I don't want to get mixed up with this guy. And you definitely don't. One aspect of this movie that I think people will criticize, or maybe they'll criticize it with another movie, is the score. Because Gladiator has a very great score. It definitely encapsulates and captures the feeling of being in this big action spectacle set in a historical period. But also, this movie was scored by Hans Zimmer. Now listen to this piece of music from Gladiator. Now listen to this piece of music, also scored by Hans Zimmer, and tell me if these two are not similar. Instantly, when I hear the music in Gladiator, I just think of Pirates of the Caribbean, and now I just want to go on a swashbuckling adventure. This movie makes me want to watch Pirates of the Caribbean. I think I'm going to do that. And my God, just look at this guy's eyebrows. Man, he is rocking it. But yeah, when the stuff's going down in the Coliseum, the Chariot sequence, one of the greatest action sequences to ever grace our screen is that Chariot sequence. Holds up well. All of the practicality, all the practical effects, all of the stunt work in these sequences, just the way it's filmed as well. I love action sequences that know how to be action sequences. That Chariot sequence, still mind-blowing to this day. And of course, Gladiator is also one of the most quotable movies of the 2000s. You knew Marcus Aurelius. My name is Gladiator, father of a murdered son, husband of a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance in this life or the next. Have I missed the battle? You missed the war. Seriously, like, anytime there's like a busy day at work and somebody didn't work the previous day, I just go up to them and I'm like, have I missed the battle? And they go, you missed the war. Everybody knows what that quote is from. Gladiator is just such a quotable movie. I quote it all the time with everybody at work. It's so memorable. This story, the way this story weaves in and out, it makes so much sense. How they get from point A, how Maximus is a general, and he falls from grace. He is taken to be executed once he defies Commodus as the actual emperor. Once he falls from grace, his family gets murdered. He goes into slavery, and he's a slave that becomes a gladiator. And then he's a gladiator that defies an empire. It makes all the sense in the world. He is the true heir to Marcus Aurelius. He is the emperor. Everybody's going to listen to Maximus. They're not going to listen to little pipsqueak weasel there. The final fight between Maximus and Commodus, it's a pretty short fight. It's a lot shorter than I remember. Even in the extended edition, I watched the extended edition for the first time to prepare for this review, which is about 15 minutes longer than the theatrical cut, which ran at 2:35. The extended edition's closer to 3 hours, and I really thought that was actually going to be extended in the extended edition, and it wasn't. But, of course, Commodus, being the little weasel that he is, has to stab Maximus before the games even begin, before the fight even begins, so that he can weaken Maximus and gain the advantage, you little cheap bastard. I hate you. This fight doesn't go on for that long. I love how it actually starts as a sword fight, and then it becomes more of a hand-to-hand combat thing, and then headbutts get thrown, and Commodus finally goes down for the count, as well as Maximus. Maximus dies at the end. He finally gets peace. Things I love about him finally finding peace within himself is that the movie does have a bit of predictability to it, but it's so well realized, I feel like, because there's this metaphor that's happening. There's these images that we see projected on screen that show Maximus rubbing his hand through flowers on a grass plain. and there's this door that is closed, and it keeps slowly getting closer. And then right as it looks like he's about to open the door, or the camera is about to open the door, which is awesome, by the way. We don't even see Maximus in these sequences. We see his arm blowing itself through those poppies in that grass plane, and then we don't even see a full body shot of him in these metaphorical images. So it's saying, hey, this is the door to the afterlife, but we're not ready to take you there yet. So obviously you know he's going to die at the end, but it's just how the movie presents it. It's just a bit of satisfaction at the end. It's like, yes, it's sad that he died, but you know what? He is at peace. And it actually kind of feels happy. He's finally in the afterlife with his son and his wife. It's a bit of a happy ending for him. It is a sad ending for the audience, but he is at peace, and that's all that matters to Maximus at this point. And I feel like the movie showcasing him as a man of honor, if they didn't really show us some instances where he would just lay down everything he had and walk away from a fight, those little bits of imagery that we see wouldn't really matter. It would really take away from the satisfaction that he is at peace at the end of the movie when he dies, and it would just lead to everybody complaining that the movie is a bit predictable in that regard, which it is, but as I said, the satisfaction of him being at peace just completely takes over that notion that this movie is predictable. And I think you do know where it is going to go. But in all honesty, this sets the standard for the modern day revenge tale. No modern day revenge movie has been able to top it, in my opinion. Gladiator is a bona fide classic, and with these classic reviews, I'm going to go back to my letter grades, which means Gladiator is most definitely deserving of an A+. Still holds up 20 years later. It's still an amazing movie. Definitely check it out if you have not seen Gladiator. And if you come to me and you tell me that you didn't like it, I'm obviously going to tell you,
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
So that is my review of Gladiator. It turns 20 today. I hope you guys have seen Gladiator. If you haven't, go and see Gladiator. It's out on Blu-ray. It's probably on Netflix. I don't know. It's probably on Netflix, probably on Hulu, probably not, because Netflix is stupid, and they don't have everything. So, but if you haven't seen Gladiator, just go and watch Gladiator whenever you get a second. It's the perfect time. We're all in quarantine. We have time to kill, and I want to know what you guys thought of Gladiator. So drop me a comment in the comment section below. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you at the movies somewhere.
Are you not entertained?